Hey there, welcome back to the Wise Mind Sky podcast. I'm your host, Nat Plastino, and I thank you once again for tuning into my show. Today, we're looking into the material self, how our stuff shapes who we are. Now, picture this. You walk into someone's house for the first time. Maybe it's a friend, a date, or a new coworker. Before they even say a word, you're already forming opinions based on what's on their bookshelf, their posters, their furniture, and let's be honest, whether or not they have too many, an unreasonable number of decorative pillows. Welcome to the concept of the material self. It's a fascinating psychological idea that explains why our personal possessions are so much more than just stuff. It's the reason why we get weirdly sentimental about an old concert t-shirt, why we feel a surge of pride when driving a brand new car, and why the loss of a favorite childhood toy can feel like a tiny heartbreak. So, what exactly is the material self, and why does it play such a big role in our lives? Let's dive in, and don't worry, I promise to keep this more entertaining than your high school textbooks. William James, a psychologist, developed the idea of the material self, contending that our identity is influenced by both the material objects we surround ourselves with and our ideas and feelings. James asserts that our sense of self encompasses more than just our physical selves. It also includes our belongings, house, clothing, and even pets. Yes, your dog is unquestionably a part of your material self. In other words, we don't just own things. We integrate them in our sense of who we are. That's when you scratch your new phone screen or spill coffee on your favorite jeans, it feels like a personal attack. So, why do we care so much about our stuff? Good question. There are a few key reasons why our possessions become part of our identity. They tell our story. Your favorite rock band t-shirt, your travel souvenirs, and that worn out book you reread every year. These are little chapters in the autobiography of you. People at times use their possessions to express their personalities, interests, and even their values. They represent achievements. Got a diploma on your wall? A medal from track and field? That first luxury handbag you bought with your own dollars? These things symbolize accomplishments and remind us how far we've come. They offer comfort and security. Ever wonder why people get attached to old stuffed animals? I know my daughter does. Or Lucky Charms? Objects can provide emotional stability and reassurance, acting like a physical manifestation of happy memories. They also show us social status. Let's be real, people use possessions to symbolize wealth, success, or a particular lifestyle. A luxury watch, a trendy brand, or even the latest iPhone model can serve as a kind of social currency. Now, science has backed up that we are not only emotional invested in things for no reason. Research indicates that our brains create associative connections of objects, particularly those associated with significant life events. This explains why hoarding tendencies can arise and why discarding cherished objects can occasionally cause bodily discomfort. There's also the endowment effect, a psychological phenomenon where we place higher value on things simply because they belong to us. Ever tried selling something on Facebook Marketplace and got annoyed when people didn't want to pay your asking price? That's the endowment effect in action. Now, there's also a dark side to material self. Although it's perfectly okay to treasure your possessions, issues occur when materialism takes over. We risk becoming trapped in a never-ending cycle of desiring more and more if we begin to gouge our value by our possessions rather than our true selves. Additionally, social media isn't helpful. It might make us feel as though our own belongings and thus our identities aren't good enough. When we see influencers showing off their expensive clothes, lavish vacations, and Pinterest perfect homes. But keep in mind that the cost of your footwear does not determine your value. So how do we embrace our material self without letting it define everything about us? Here are some perfect tips. Declutter with intention. Instead of mindlessly hoarding, ask yourself, does this item still bring me joy? Yes, Bray Kondo, who is a professional organizer, was onto something. If not, just donate it, sell it, or recycle it. Your identity isn't tied to the energy of every object you own. Number 2 is invest in meaningful things. Rather than buying things that just because society or social media says they're trendy, focus on objects that truly represent you. Quality over quantity, always. Number 3 is detach from the idea that more equals better. It's easy to get caught up in the endless spin of consumer culture. But true worth comes from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not how much stuff you accumulate. Number 4 is personalize your space, but make it about you. Your home, your car, your workspace, these should reflect your unique style and personality, not just what's popular on Instagram. And number 5 is remember that people matter more than things. At the end of the day, the best memories aren't about what you had once owned, but who you were with. Your social circle is more important than material objects, except for that one time your parents threw away your old Pokemon cards. That still stings. Now, final thoughts. Because it serves as a reminder of our strong bond with our possessions, the material self is an intriguing concept in psychology. Although our belongings provide us with solace, enable us to express ourselves, and tell a narrative that they do not define who we are. Therefore, the next time you're considering whether to get that expensive new device or hold on to an old memento from a long forgotten trip, ask yourself if it actually improves your life or if you're just hooked to it out of habit. And if the answer is yes, I just really, really love it, well, who am I to judge? Just don't let those throw pillows take over your entire couch. So that's the end of today's episode. If you love this episode, do me a solid. Subscribe to the Wise Minds Guy podcast and leave a review so more people can find this show on the web. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next week.